Hi, it is the Human Operating System time. So today I'd like to share with you on the topic of information's understanding, thinking, mimicking, and manipulation is not the it. The development of meditation, Qigong, and internal art comes from proper practice and state verifications. This might sound confusing for those of you who just heard what I'm saying this. However, this is really critical. So why do I raise or I share this issue today? This is because on and on I got many friends from traditional Chinese martial arts, Qigong, meditations, messages me asking me to explain or to verify their understanding on the ancient writing or the ancient Qigong, such as the Qigong, passing down the Wing Chun Qigong of the 1850s. That is an issue. If one have no idea what is going on, that the ancients, what the ancient mean, need to have prerequisites and need to know what is going on. Okay, so I'm going to share with you this, so once for all, you can get out from this trap. This is a deadly trap, but we make this, we get into this kind of traps. Okay, I get into that too, long time ago. Now, this is a page or a chapter in the Shaolin writing, Shaolin scripture. Okay. So it said that when one train or one want to study Kung Fu, be it the meditation, Qigong, or internal art, one need to get a experience or professional teacher. Okay. Here, Ming is translated as experience, professional, not like famous. Okay, so Ming here means professional and experienced teacher. So the first key over here, it is saying that studying martial arts, okay, or the internal art is not the same with studying literature type of art. So over here, it is saying that key 2 is said that if one study literature, one can actually read the books and understand what is it. But when one study martial arts or internal art or meditations, even if one be able to mimic different type of movement, still one need the teacher to lead one into the experience for the realizations of what is it about. Okay. So key 1 and key 2 means that if you study literature stuff, philosophy, you can study the book and then you can understand what is the author or the person talking about or those subject. However, when one study martial arts or Qigong or meditations or the internal art, it is really cannot do it that way. One need a teacher to coach one to be able to experience it. So the third one is saying that even just for the explicit handling of the martial arts, it is already really difficult without a teacher to study it. Not to mention, number 4 is not to mention the internal art, where there are many in-depth things there. Unless one's development has get up to a certain level, one will not be able to realize or to understand what is going on. So you have 4 keys. The first 2 keys mean that studying literature and philosophy and martial art or internal art or Qigong or meditation, they are 2 different types of stuff. One must not mix them. The second is even the basic explicit martial arts is one need a teacher to get coached to learn it. And number 4 is in the internal or in-depth art, one need to actually have the experience. Okay, the development has to be up to a certain degree in order to understand what is going on. Okay, so one need to develop a certain level in order to understand. So for example, it's like this. Key 3 is like one need a teacher to teach one's how to handling with the momentum and how to handle the awareness and so forth, or how to get into the natural world. Okay, which is you cannot just read book and understand that. Key 4 is meaning that a different at the say for the 5th state, one need to have the 4th state development in order to understand the 5th state. So let me explain it more clearly with the S model. So thinking, understanding, or get the informations and thinking this is all, that is actually belong to the intelligent worlds. One might have the information, oh, there's a state 1 here going to the state 2 and state 3. Well, if one thinks this is all, one is missing the point big time, because this is within the intelligent world. It's just like the Shaolin writing there saying that this is a book study, okay, studying philosophy and so forth. Now, over here, if one just get the informations, for example, if we go to a seminar for 4 hours, we heard about all the different type of internal force, qi, and blah, blah, blah. We go home, we really don't know what it is, okay? And over here, in the intelligent world, it is always my opinion, my interpretations, I think, I believe, how to manipulate with mind, or like, I want to think that there's a ball of fire in my lower abdomen, and then I feel the heat, and then I get the heat go running through my body. That's called the micro-orbit, those kind of stuff, okay? Well, everybody can talk about that, but what is the reality of that? That is a complete different story. Why? Because all this internal art, meditations, and Qigong style deal with the natural world. And when it deal with natural world, the reality is to get into the natural world and let the states unwrap naturally. So say this state 1, state 2, state 3. It need to get into this natural world and let it unwrap naturally. So one experience it. While in here, one might heard about these 3 states. Over here is like, oh yeah, I got this information. I know this information. I know how to practice this set. Well, you can practice all the set you want, mimic all you want, but you still don't know what's going on here. And this is the real deal. one need to accomplish. Okay, this is just thinking, understanding, and informations. So over here, the reality is one need to use the physical body, mind, breathing, and energy element or layers of the human to get into this first state here, and then get into from the first state, get to the second state, and get to the third state. So in other words that in order to get into the first state, one need to practice following the process steps, not using your mind. Just follow the process steps. Because if one is try to using their mind to think and all kind of stuff, not following the process step, it's going to play running around and around here, go nowhere. Okay? So this one, you need to follow the process step, get to the second, get to the state. Okay, so one need to first practice follow the process steps, and then get to the second step, the first state. Okay, the first state. And then when one gets the first state, one has to be verified by the teacher. Okay? It's just like, for example, say you have an elevator. If you want to go to second floor, you just hop on the elevator and you push one and you get to the second, the second floor. Okay? So you are here in intelligent world, you get the elevator, and then you punch letter 1, and then the elevator carry you to the level 1, okay? And level 1, you can verify you are in the level 1, you're really in the level 1, okay? Now, so there is something really critical here. Here there is the process step. Process step is really important in Chinese martial arts. In Chinese, it's called Gong Fa. So the Gong Fa usually is not going to teach people. Okay? Well, in my time, I can tell you direct. My Sifu told me, you teach them the sets, but you don't teach them the applications. You teach them the application, but you never teach them the Gong Fa, the process step. Because process step is the one which deals with the Gong Fu, okay, which make the difference. So, sets is not it. One need to know the Gong Fa, the process step to develop it. So set is like the explicit stuff. If you don't know what is within it, that you cannot make a difference between a Porsche and an Acura. Okay? If you know the engine, then you know they are different, the Porsche and the Acura. Okay? So when you get to the state 1, you need the teacher to verify that, yes, you get into the state 1 already. Like you use the elevator, you hop into the elevator, you punch 1, and then you get the level 1, and then you see that floor 1, and you can see, you can verify that, okay? Only that you know what is 1. But if you are in this thinking, intelligent world, we can talk all day long on the state 1 or level 1, we really don't know what it is. Okay, it's just all this kinds of, I believe all those kind of stuff. Now, in order to go to level 2 or state 2, one need another process to get up to level 2, and one need to verify again. Okay? Now the issue is this. If the Queen Quid or writing is writing something about the level 2, one try to understand here in the intelligent world where the Queen Quid is writing or describing on the level 2, one have a tough luck to understand what is going on. Because one require all this development in order to understand what is going on. So that's why many friends, when they message me, and I mean a lot of friends, okay, this is a problem because they're keeping thinking this way and the reality is this way. So there's no way you can understand it. Okay? One can keep speculate here, but one will not be able to understand this. Okay? So this is the reality. Now, we need to be careful. When we see a concrete or anything, we cannot just go translate my opinion, I believe, if there's running circle here. One will never know what is going on here. One need to get into the natural world to experience it and describe it with details. So the guy who say have the achievement or accomplishment of the level 1 here or state 1 here will be able to describe you the details, what is going on here. There is no translation, my opinion, my belief, no such thing. It is straight details because anybody who attain level 1 or state 1 will get the same experience and will see the same details. Okay? So, the same thing is if they get to level 2 and then they have to have the process and then the experience, the verifications, and so they be able to describe the detail. That is where you know is if the teacher is actually professional, knowing the subject. Okay, that's according to the ancient. The teacher be able to coach one because the teacher be able to describe the details. And so if somebody going sidetrack instead of going into the proper path, the teacher know right away and say, hey, get back. And that's why in the ancient, the teacher say, you follow my instruction and you shut up and you just do it. It is not that about ego. It is not ego. It is try to lead one from state 1 to state 2 and so forth. If one, many times, even when I'm teaching in my class, when one get the student get into the state 1. Now, the students suddenly get into smart and try to use all his intelligent world information, understanding here, going every direction they want. They no longer want to follow the instruction. That is where I kick them out from class, okay? Because that is a waste of time and that is running dangerous, okay? So in the ancient, the teacher is not about ego. Like in the ancient, if you want to study Buddhism, you better study with one monk. Okay, just one. Listen to one teacher, not two teachers. If you want to study with the second teacher, you better get the first teacher to approve for it. If the teacher say no, you say you just don't study. Period. Why? It's because to make sure from one state one can get into the second state properly, because this is the teacher have the responsibility to get one there. Okay, it's not like today. You be here and then you say, well, I want to study A, and then I study B, and I study C, and then you going around interview with the entire world, the grandmaster entire world. After you interview 50 of them, you say, I'm the grandmaster too. Grandmaster of what? Do you know the state? So this is a misconception. If one doesn't know the state, no way one can crack the code of the concrete. One might learn a little bit here. If one go here, interview or study with this teacher A or the grandmaster B or C, one might get a little bit thing on surface, but the content of the development, it is a different story. Well, I like to be like that too. I just go to this teacher, that teacher, Or do I screw up that way too when I was young? Sure, I am. But then it goes nowhere. Okay? So speaking of you and me, there's no difference. As soon as we walk into this street or interviews this guy or study with this for 6 months and that for 1 year, you're looking for trouble. You never develop anything. That's why people who do that, you can see a signature. They never proceed far than the claim of, I study with this guy, I study with this guy, I study with this guy. They cannot tell you. Okay, tell me what is the state. What is the state this Qi will do? What is the state your consciousness or your awareness will do? They will not be able to tell you that. Why? Because they don't have a teacher to guide them step to step to go inside there. Okay? So there's the ancient teaching. And this has to be really careful. And I know today is information world, we all here. But, reality is reality. We cannot trap ourselves here and thinking we are grandmaster here. Unless one can penetrate and go far, there is no such thing as handling. Grandmaster is too far away. The ancient grandmaster is really, really advanced. So that's why, as what I keeping show you guys, with all the documents, what the ancient talk about or presenting is not what people think today. And it is a trouble, a disaster, if we keep in thinking, oh yeah, this is my way, your way what? My way what? We couldn't even get into the state yet. Okay? And we don't even know the states. You go, just it's very simple. You go look at all this thing about Qigong meditations, all this Buddhism, internal martial arts, all this kind of thing. Have anybody talked about state? But if you go to Yoga Charabhumi or you go to the Srangama, it tells you about states. You are in this state, this state, this state, this state, this state. So that is the reality. We need to be watch out. Okay? So because of this is a really serious issue, when I say that I'm presenting an educations, okay, not that it is my lineage or I'm the grandmaster. So what I'm doing, I'm just taking the ancient text because face it, very difficult, almost impossible for everybody of us today to read all those texts. It takes years and all this kind of stuff, okay? And you need to understand the ancient Chinese and everything. So say when I wrote this, Basic Wing Chun Queen, you see, over here, I say the ancient Chinese internal education process, okay? Teacher revealed the key point of handling, and then teacher show the process key of handling practice. That's Gong Fa. I just tell you what it is. The teacher teach the development process and guide the practice for the student to direct experience the outcome or accomplishment. That is the verifications. And then only after that the student can continue to refine his own accomplishment. So meaning from here to here, one need to absolutely follow the teacher or the Sifu. One cannot jumping around to go interview or visit 10 zillion Sifu and then thinking that one is a grandmaster. No. One need to follow one Sifu to develop the entire thing. And only after one reach that state, one can continue to refine on the own. That's why it's saying that Sifu is like a father, because it is the father which developed one from 0 state to state 1. Okay? So the step 1 to 3 is said the teacher lead one to enter the door. And further development relies on effort. So it is not the ego of the teacher. It is one need to Like the eagle, the young eagle, the baby eagle has to be able to fly before one let him fly, let the baby eagle fly. Otherwise, it is a dead end. Okay. So again, when in this book, you always have to link to physics. Okay. Because this is a description here. Descriptions of nature, meaning that it has to obey physics. You cannot say, well, I believe so, I think so. Well, think what? Okay? If it is a martial art and so forth, you have to obey physics, law of physics. So that is how the book was written. Try to explain and then try to describe what happened here. And of course, that is not something really deep like over here. It's not, because it's called Basic Wing Chun Art and Science. It's something here. It's very basic. So I have to describe what it is instead of translate to you what it is. Describe the details, what it is, and then show you how it can link to physics. Okay? Because you need to have physics to back you up, to verify you. Okay? Now, same thing with this meditation matrix. Well, meditation matrix is actually a common denominator of the Buddhism's Anapanasati Sutra, Surangama Sutra, and the Essential of Practice, Calmness and Insight by Samana Shi, Confucian's Great Learning, and Traditional Chinese Medicines. Well, if you want to read that, how long do you think it takes? Do you want to understand it? How long do you think it takes? Do you want to get into the natural state from it? How long do you think it takes? Okay, that's why this book is about taking the common denominator and describe what the heck it is. Okay, and again, it is not something advanced here, like I'm the Buddha. No, it's just only here. Now, if we cannot get here, the entire thing is hopeless. Okay? Now, again, as in this meditation matrix, you see, this is the brainwave. The brainwave one can go test out. Okay? And then this is meditation with a medical monitoring device. Well, again, if you're in the natural, you better be able to be measured, okay, by the biomarker of physics. In this case, it's a biomarker. Your blood pressure, your blood glucose, your heart rate, all kind of stuff. Okay, you just cannot saying that make any claim here will not be able to produce or provide scientific proven data. Okay, it's just invalid. Now the same with the Wing Chun matrix here. When I talk about the 2C state, you give the process. This is the process steps. You need the process step. Remember, we need the process step. We need the process steps. The process steps. So it provides the process step there. It provides the process step there, and then it uses today's tools to help one to be able to accomplish or attain the state, and one can verify it. Okay, that's in the books, Wing Chun Matrix, and of course, it's going to link to physics again. Okay. So this is a Newtonian the impulse momentum relationship and so forth. So one need to be able to do this. Otherwise, what is the point? We can sit here. We can always sit here. We can always sit here, and then make all kind of interview. You can interview me. I can actually pat your back, you can pat my back, and the more interview we get into, the more advanced our title. But we have no idea what is going on here. And we have no idea what is meditations. We have no idea what is Qigong. We have no idea what is internal art. We just keeping pumping up here. I'm in Enlightenment Hendrik. Okay, I'm the guru of Enlightenment Hendrik. So probably when next time you meet me, you have to call me Venerable, Your Holiness, Enlightenment, second to Buddha Hendrik. Oh, you want to call me that? Please not, okay? Because I'm just an engineer. I hate those kind of stuff. Just call me Hendrik, even when I was the director or something working in the design group, okay? So that's not the point. The title is not the point. It is here. What is going on here? And as we know today, the 5G is coming. So what is 5G? 5G is very high-speed stuff, high-speed network and so forth. You can practically download many, say 1 terabyte in a few seconds of the data. So you want movie, you see movie. You want everything. When you get a 5G there and an AI there, and if we human do not understand and we do not know about our physical mind, breathing energy, and our biomarker like a heartbeat and breathing and so forth, well, we're trapped here. We're trapped here by the sensation. We don't even aware of what is going on anymore. We just trapped here and continues on. Okay, so that's how serious it is. Okay, now, so that's why what I present is an education system. Well, my book is a reference. Okay, it is not. I wrote that book because of my research or my experience or my way. No, I just take all the basic common denominator of the ancient Chinese. I get there into the state, and I explain to you in English what it is. Okay, no longer a translation or Googling. It's no longer maybe what or if or my opinion. You get there, you will get the same experience, and you can be tracked with your heart rate or your brain wave and so forth. Okay, or you can analyze it with the physics. It has to be like that way. Otherwise, what is the point to write the book? To make me get laughed at 100 years from today that I'm bullshitting? Well, I don't want to do that. That's why I want to make that a textbooks. Of course, I'm not perfect, but somebody has to carry on to this because it's about human. Okay, and the videos where I share free with you all is about example, clarification, problem solving, question and answer, illustrations, and update. Well, why update? Because everything is growing. Even like the other day, I show you on the Qigong writing 450 years later, 450 years ago. In 1560, he said that this thing you need to learn, you need to keep upgrade and update because it's keeping growing stuff. There's no such thing as ultimate Chinese secret. None. Zero. Even the Buddha come today or Bodhidharma, he still have to learn how to use the iPhone or smartphone, or he have to learn how to drive a car. Okay, that's how it is. Face it, that's reality. So that is the education. So what I try to set it up here, and of course, I don't have much money, and I can only do this much on my own funding. Okay, no other people fund me, and no business. I can only do this much. Okay, so hopefully, if I die today, whatever I know, you guys can know is in open transparency. Now, one thing is that, as the reference book, you buy it or not, I'm not pushing you. Okay, I don't want to push it. If you watch the video and take notes and you don't buy the book because you don't need it, that's fine. If you need a reference, which is I do the homework for you, well, that's fine too. Okay. So that's about education. So everybody know, everybody can improve. It's not about this lineage put down the other lineage, or this style put down of the other style. All my book which I wrote actually is good for all martial art style, because those are basic common denominator of the past ancient. And sometimes people ask me, well, why don't you get to the point in your video? Quickly get to the point. Now, with today's, I share this with you. You know why I don't want to, I repeat things? Because I am trying to emphasize on thing details here. If you miss it, you will miss it big time. That's why I repeat things. I already get to the point. The point is that I get into the natural world and tell you what it is. But if you are here, like we today, have impatient and totally say, well, give me more information, give me more information, while you're missing the point. My point is, I purposely want to let you know, repeat 3-4 times so that you know exactly what it is. Okay? If you miss something, you will not get it. Okay? So that is the issue. And that means something, okay? Because we don't live in the same paradigm. When I describe things, I get into the natural world paradigm. I'm not in the intelligence world where today nobody has patience even to listen to anything, okay? Now, somebody will sometimes complain to me about my books, my bad English, and so forth. Since I'm living in the Silicon Valley, I should make the books look good, and so forth. You know what? Let me share with you. And this is true, okay? I have a friend who is a really close friend, who is the founder of one of very successful Silicon Valley company. He's the CEO, chairman, and so forth. He told me this. He said, Hendrik, you know what? You don't make good businessmen in what you are teaching here. Because what you can teach for years, you teach it in a few days. So you're not going to make money. Well, I told him that is the educations. Because people need it. Okay? Now, turn the point, the thing around. What do you think? How much this information I share with you will cost you? If this information which I share with you up to now, I bring it to a publisher or somebody who can do marketing, like in Silicon Valley, we start up a company. Like I just show you the idea, and then I get people test about it, okay, and all those things. Research on it, and then I get a grant, or I get an investor to support me, and then I start this new technology, okay, on what I have shared with you. How much do you think is going to charge you for any single of my sharing of you just in this free YouTube videos? How much do you think you have to pay? Okay, because you don't have the technology, okay. So the issue is that all the books and so forth is, I do it in a really low-cost way and try to give you the most is possible. Face it, I have to learn so many different languages. I have to learn Indonesian language because I'm born in Indonesia. I will have to study Chinese and classical Chinese because I have to read all those things and understand this thing, understand my sifu. And then I have to study English because I have to come here to study engineering and so forth. I like that, and I want to do research in engineering. Of course, my English is not like my secretary's English. So this is the thing, please take into considerations. It is the education which is the key point. So this is what to share with you today.